My name is Natina and I work for the American Ranch store. And today I wanted to show you how to fabricate a box or a horse stall from wood pallets. We live in France, and maybe I'll do another YouTube video in French for you, but this is using pallets de Bois. The wood pallets make both a box and it also makes a fence. So I'll show you that area too. But to show you the details of actually how to fabricate the box, let's take a look inside here. Everything that I used for this is basically what we had here around the house from leftover decking, or I got the pallets of wood pallets from a local company who had a ton of them that he actually has to pay someone else to come get rid of, or people break him down and they burn him for wood during the winter. But we don't have very harsh winters here, but it does get a little chilly, and they do use their chimneys. So what this door or gate was actually a shutter used that we just took off the pieces. It was vertical, it made it horizontal. Put a little latch here. I used an electrical fence to protect the area, which was the most expensive thing that we had. But this right here, this electrical arm, I guess you would call it, actually extends out over the gate so that when our Colt is inside, it won't touch this. Okay, so just to show you that a little bit, I'm going to put that back. I'm going to lift this up. I've got a support block here for the door in case it gets too heavy, and that block was just from an inside pallet that I broke down to make this door support. So what we do is these wood pallets were not broken down, but when we go to the fence, you'll see the ones that we did. This box has the full, all the same size wood pallets. If you can, depending on where you get them, if you can keep about, well, depending on what your size is. We made ours 3 high. Went 3 high on the wood pallets. And how far did we go back? 1, 2, and 3 back. So 3 high and 3 long. And going inside the box here, how I connected the wood pallets was simply by using a piece of wood and putting them together and hammering them in. Where I could, especially on these corners here, I would hammer them together. We left this open because when you use wood pallets for a box or a horse stall, the wind can actually go through, or the air, to air out the ground. So as you can see, the ground, we've got a little bit of bedding down, and this back wall here, we put together we had some leftover wood, but you can leave that open if you want, but I just put a couple of sheets up of really thin wood. Do you see how thin that is? Okay, and our ceiling, I did have to buy a couple pieces of wood. This is the heavier wood, but what I used for this top was, you can use 10, I guess, or whatever you may like, but this was bought at a local hardware store. We used a transparent centerpiece just to make that better lighting for inside the box. So this feed box that you see right here is actually a table, and one of the legs was broken. So what I did was I just took apart the table, and you see it already has the hinges there. I just used what I had and put the 4 corners together inside themselves to make a complete box. And I've got a wood stand on it. I used the base of the table, I cut that, and then I put the 4 leg pieces on top of that flat box, or on top of that flat tabletop that I cut to make it a little stand. We feed him out of his bucket sometimes, but what that causes is him to knock it over, and then the feed goes on the floor. So I've got at the American Ranch store at www.americanranchstore.com is who I work for, and they have all this stuff, but I've got a bucket with a hook coming. We did all this in one weekend, so it was just something quick, and it's pretty practical. There is a colt. We have a 1-year-old colt that we're keeping in here. We have a lot of countryside, but you have a creek over there. There's some garden, so we don't want him getting out and getting into that at night. He can hurt himself. This is a door. I turned the door horizontal to make it into a gate where if we needed to get our car through here, or a tractor or whatever, we could get through. You have this was fabricated for, it's not really a gate, but what we did is I took these 2 pieces of wood that I broke down from the pallet, and it just slides over. You see how we did that? And it slides over, it goes directly onto the piece of wood that we fabricated there. So you just take one of the insides of the pallets that you break down, you just make a extension there, and you can slide the 2 interior pieces, so this piece and this piece, and goes directly back and forth. So looks like we're good. But all this, the pieces that I did have to buy this was some leftover decking that we had, this wood, so I put that there. But it all can be from the pallets, because what you see all here is just from pallets. What I did to make the spaces even was I took when you break down the pallets, there's a block inside that separates them. And I took the block and I measured between each one, the block at the top and then the block at the bottom. So, and we did that all along the fence line. So as you see here, it makes a nice fencing or clôture for any type of livestock, goats or sheep. But for us, it's this colt over here. So let me see. Looks like my daughter's doing some grooming. I did have an obstacle where I had a tree in the way. So again, we took 3 pieces of wood from the pallets, from the wood pallets, and just closed up that gap there. And we didn't put the verticals on yet, but we certainly could. We need to do that. But I need to go get some more pallets. I took about 27 to make the barn, and then I made a couple trips, and then probably another 10 or more to do the fence here. So as you see, we've got the cable going all the way around as another security measure. I ran out of pallets, but what I used is, we had like 4 of these panels left over. I broke down these panels and I made those be I cut them. I made them too short though, as you can see there. I cut it to make it do this back area here. Okay, so really, and then you have just this little bit right here, this corner, so we can actually get our vehicle back to go. I'm not really sure where. We need to clear out a trail there because the thorn bushes have taken over. But really, the most important thing for your electrical part is the gate area. If they find colts, they're so curious. If you find a way to get out, they certainly will. But knowing even if we don't have that yellow wire activated, he knows not to touch that, because it's almost like a false alarm. He knows that it's, in his mind, it's on all the time. But for now, at night, we certainly put it on to block this gate area. I think that's it, really. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you need any horsing material or any livestock material, or even the American Ranch store has box and stalls, but this is something practical that we needed to do on a weekend to close this one up, and we did it nicely. So I hope this helps. Visit us at www.americanranchstore.com, and thanks for watching this video. I hope it helps you.